Welcome back to Black Enterprise Business Report. Bankruptcy used to be a dirty word, but as more and more Americans face a crushing debt load, many are turning to bankruptcy for relief. Clover Barrett of Clover Barrett and Associates is with us to weigh your options. How are you, Clover?
Hi, Caroline. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in. Bankruptcy used to be such a dirty word. It was the absolute court of last resort. People tried to avoid it at all costs. Why is that changing?
Well, more and more people are realizing, Caroline, that bankruptcy is not a dirty word, but the law is put there to assist honest debtors and people who honestly have gotten in hard times and fallen into financial difficulty, a chance to get a fresh financial start.
Let's backtrack a little bit. What are some of the most common mistakes people make when they are in a financial crunch? What are the things that you really should not do?
Don't wait too long to see an experienced attorney in bankruptcy, because then you can understand your options. Don't spend down your retirement funds and your future to pay off unsecured debts that could be discharged through bankruptcy.
Are there other things that people really commonly do that just really jam them in the long run?
Mostly using what we call exempt assets, which is their retirement funds, to pay off unsecured debts that they can get rid of through bankruptcy. Sometimes people try to transfer assets away before filing bankruptcy, and that's a no-no, because then you will lose that asset because of what the trustee would be deemed a fraudulent transfer, since you do that to avoid creditors.
When is bankruptcy absolutely not your best option?
Most times, bankruptcy can help either through a payment plan through Chapter 13 or a Chapter 7, a clean, fresh start.
What is lien stripping, and how can that be used effectively?
Well, many homeowners, when the economy was booming, many of them took out a second mortgage or a home equity line of credit. Since the economy has fallen, the value of many homes have also fallen. The bankruptcy law allows a debtor whose home, their primary residence, if the value of that person's home has fallen below the value of the first mortgage, that debtor, through what we call lien stripping, can get rid of the second debt, which is a second
Entirely?
mortgage. Entirely through, well, it's through a Chapter 13 payment plan. So yes, for the most part, after going through a 3 to 5 year payment plan, the debt can be stripped away.
Is that something that most people are aware of?
A lot of people are not aware of it. A lot of hardworking, honest-to-goodness middle-class people who have their homes and have second mortgage are struggling, and that's a powerful tool to get rid of some of the debts. Most of us have our primary residence or a home as our main asset.
Right.
And when you have two mortgages on that home and it's below water, think about it. Will you ever get to retirement? There'll be no equity. At least if you strip away the second mortgage, then you can start building up back equity in your property.
And I guess that's something the banks are not running around telling people, but it's really great information.
It's not. And if you talk to an attorney that's experienced in bankruptcy, they will tell you, and they should know.
I think one of the things you always hear about, and it frightens a lot of people about bankruptcy, is the aftermath. How do you get out from under the pall of having filed for bankruptcy in the first place? How long is that process, and how doable is it to recover from?
Some people bounce back pretty fast, and I think what helps most people is being able to make installment payments on a regular basis. So some people can get car loans or continue to make their mortgage payments even after filing bankruptcy, and that builds up their credit. Many creditors see new discharged debtors as a good target to lend money to, because now they don't have a large bill to pay to any of the creditors. So they're free to make payments because now they don't have that big debt on them.
But given how the economy has been and how many people have defaulted on loans, is it more difficult now or easier really to regain creditors' confidence, particularly if you've claimed bankruptcy?
I think it's difficult now, more difficult now, but I don't think it's impossible. And I think that maybe it's more difficult in terms of real estate and in purchasing properties. But for unsecured debts, there are certain banks that will give you unsecured debt, a small balance, and if you show that you are able to make those payments, then they increase the balance, and there's something called a secured card transaction way to go in order to build your credit. You get a secured card, and if you make your payments, and little by little, it gets reported to the credit rating bureaus, and then voila, you have credit again.
Clover, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Caroline, for having me.
For more information on bankruptcy, log on to blackenterprise.com. And if you have any questions or comments on personal finance, send them to us on Facebook or Twitter. When we come back,
our Entrepreneur of the Week shares what industry can survive a recession after the break.